This is photowalkthrough.com, tutorial 2, chapter 2. In this video I'm going to show you the next steps I took in creating the image you can see in front of you. And the first thing I've done is I've created a contrast layer. The way I've done that is created a curves layer. At the bottom of the layers palette here we have this create new fill or adjustment layer. If I go to curves, and I'm just going to, as soon as that window pops up, I'm just going to say OK. What I'm going to do to make it a contrast layer is I'm going to choose soft light in the blending modes. Remember, these 4 here darken the image, these 4 here lighten the image, and these 7 here improve the contrast. So I'm going to choose overlay, and as you can see straight away, that greatly increases the contrast of the image. Now the way I typically do this is I drag the opacity down to 50%. And the reason I do that is that the contrast layer, if I later on when I come back to tweak the levels and change the image as a final sort of cleanup stage, if it's too much I can drag it down, if it's too little I can drag it up. If it's at 100% I can't drag it up, I can only drag it down. So the other thing I'm going to just mention, I created that contrast layer above the cross-processing layer. I actually prefer all my edits now to be below the cross-processing layer. I'll show you just towards the end of the video what happens if I do them in the other order. It does make quite a big difference. So that's our contrast layer. I'm just going to rename that to contrast. And in this case I don't need the layer mask, so I'm just going to drag it into the trash can and delete it, save some file size. Now, the next thing I want to do is I'm going to do a vignette layer. And the way I'm going to do that is I'm going to make a new layer. It's not an adjustment layer, this is just a regular bitmap layer. So I use this little sticky notelet icon down here, create a new layer, and this is going to be vignette. And this is going to need to be a soft light layer. So back on there. Now, what I want to do to make it a soft light vignette layer is I want to fill it with black. And if you look down here in my colours, I've got black and white selected. Black is the foreground colour, and the way you fill a layer with the foreground colour is you press Alt-Delete on your keyboard. Now, the next thing I want to do is I want to choose my eraser by pressing the E key, and I'm going to make a really big brush, and I'm pressing the right square bracket key on my keyboard to make the brush bigger. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to delete down the middle of the image to try and leave darkened bits in the corners and a little bit down the side. In particular, what I want is to have the 2 handles and the little hook eye thing down here at the bottom, mostly in the non-vignetted part, just so that what I'm doing is I'm drawing the eye towards the centre of the image by having the lighter portion in the centre, and the vignette brings out this beautiful blue colour, this beautiful turquoisey blue that this cross-processing effect gives around the edges. And the final step I want to take is just to make a general dodge and burn layer. And once again, that is a regular layer created using the Create New Layer button. And once again, it has soft light mode. And finally, I need to choose the brush tool. And my objective here is just to give a little bit more shape to the image. If you look at this round part of the handle here, the fact that the paint on the handle has got so dirty has meant that it's sort of made this rounded bit here look a little bit flat. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to choose a little black with my brush, and I'm just going to burn in a little bit there, and then I'm going to press the X key to choose white as my foreground colour. I'm just going to dodge up there just a little bit, and if I turn that layer on and off, you can see that just adds a little bit more shape to the front of that. I'm also, while I'm here, I'm just going back to black, I'm just going to burn the side of that hook, and dodge just behind the hook, just to bring the hook a little bit away from the background. Let me just turn that off and on. If you watch the hook, just raises it a little bit. I've probably overcooked that just a tiny bit. Just going to the eraser, just going to take that dodge down a little bit, and finally I'm going to just, because there's a little bit of a lack of detail on this nut holding the, I've been using white. Go back to my brush, choose black. I'm going to burn in some more detail on that nut there, and that nut there. Maybe a little more on the handle. That's pretty good. I think also, while I'm here, I'm just going to burn a little bit along the handle there, dodge a little bit along the top of the handle there, just to give top of the handle some shape. So watch this area with the nut over here, and watch this handle as I turn it on and off. You can see the difference as I turn those things on and off. Right, that's everything for this movie. I've got one more movie to go with a small spot edit, and this image will be finished.